Historically, what? Interest rates are still lower than 8% average. Guess what? Your average buyer doesn't care. Truthfully, your average buyer does not care. Because last year it was 3%. Okay? Make sense? So, you're telling me historically, well, yeah, I didn't live in the 80s. I mean, I was born in the 80s, but I didn't live there. I didn't mean it was 18%. So, I remember this. This is my time frame. So we are going into unprecedented times. Do we expect interest rates to drop down?
Not anytime soon.
Not anytime soon. Yeah, right? So, rent markets in Antelope Valley and Lancaster. Our average rent for an 800 square foot property is $1,800.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty expensive, right?
Very.
Is it more affordable to rent than to buy?
No.
Bye.
Yes.
It depends.
It depends, guys, to be honest. Let's look at it. So right now, if I'm going to buy a home for $450,000, and I'm going to do 4%, 3.5% down, I need $18,000 down, right? At a 7.125 interest rate, my monthly payment is $3,600. That's our average sales price. $3,600. What can I get to rent for $3,600?
2,300 square foot house.
You could get a really nice house for $3,600 right now. So is it more affordable to rent?
Yeah.
Right now, it's the first time since I've been in real estate, it probably is. It's always been cheaper to buy since I've been in real estate. Cheaper to buy, right? Because you could look at rent and what it was going to be for your down payment. But really, at a 7.125, if for an average average price in Lancaster, that's not even like a nice house in Quartz Hill. That's average. So it's expensive. All right. What is our average affordability as 2000 in Antelope Valley, Palmdale?
65,000.
Not affordability. I'm sorry. What is our average income? 65,000. All right. When we're getting a loan, what do they look at to see what we can afford a month?
DTI.
DTI. What does that mean?
Debt to income ratio.
Our debt to income ratio. What's the percentage that we have to be around when we can afford monthly?
45 to 50%. 40 to 55.
It depends. Depends on your credit score. Depends on a lot of things. 40 to 50%, right? So let's go back. So $3,600 a month. Who's got a calculator? Y'all have phones. Trick question. Trick question. Pull out your phone. Who's can do it for me? All right. Put in $36.28 a month per times 3628. Divide that. Let's go by 40%. 0.4. What's the number? 9,000 what? Okay, someone multiply that by 12 for me.
108,000.
$108,000. For you to qualify for this, you need to make about $108,000.
We're short.
What do we make?
Not enough.
Not enough. That's 2,000. So we've gone up a couple years. So let's say it's 70. Let's say it's gone up a lot. Let's say it's gone up to 72,000, 73,000. All right. So someone on the calculator for me again. 73,000. All right. Go ahead and divide that by 12.
6,083.
Okay. Now go ahead and multiply that by 0.4.
2,130.
So what can the average person afford?
24,300.
Yeah, 1,500.
Okay. All right. Why am I doing this? Sometimes we live in the clouds. I just want truth. Truth, guys. The average person is not going to be able to afford a home right now. We know this, right? We talked about our affordability index being upside down for the first time. The truth is, guys, the average people out here are going to struggle to be buying a home, and more people are going to be renting coming up. We know this, right? We see it going on. You guys read my emails? Sometimes there's the storm coming. We all talk about wanting to be buffaloes. What are we doing? We know this has been coming for months. We've been talking about it. What did we first bring to the office to make sure that we could get you guys prepared? Shift. And I appreciate the 7 of you that stuck through it the whole time. All right? Because most of us put our heads in the sand. What's the next thing that we're bringing to you?
Right.
We did Ignite, right? And we're going right into Bold. Get your damn heads out of the sand. It's not going to get easier. Things are not going to get easier coming up. It is going to get more challenging. This is the easiest it's been in real estate, probably in the history of real estate the last few years. People are like, I'm such a good agent, I always get over asking price. Yeah, you are. So I'm begging you guys, you have it on your phone, go to at least the first step to Bold. Don't commit to the whole thing right now if you can't. Commit to the first step. Scan it and sign up. There's way too many of you that haven't signed up yet for the first step to Bold. Bold is going to get you into action for the things that's going to be required. When was Bold written?
When was that? I was getting started yet.
2009. Why did they write Bold?
When market shift.
Because the market was in the worst it's ever been, and agents kept getting out of the business and weren't surviving.
Wall Street.
They wrote Bold to help agents during the shifting market. That's the purpose of Bold. It's very purposeful of what we're doing to bring value to our agents to help you guys succeed, okay? So please scan it and go to the first step to Bold. You can make the decision. I understand it's in a financial investment. Here's my next challenge to you. Open up your bank account statement. Bold is $125 a week when you take the full program. Look at your bank statement and see what can you do to eliminate $125 a week that can help you thrive in this business.
Stop by and guess.
Maybe ride a bike.
No more Starbucks.
Maybe just stop going to Starbucks.
No weekend, like nightclub.
Meal prep.
Oh, yeah.
Stop going to lunch and stop going to Starbucks for a couple weeks.
Stop going.
That would pay for it. So I hear a lot of excuses why people owe this or that. The first step's free. There's no excuse not to go to that. The next step, so you got to get your butts in there. All right? That's my preach for today. Next office meeting, Brian, our Bold coach, will be here live and unfiltered. We are just going to be chatting. You guys can ask questions. What is it like? What are we doing? He's going to be talking about what he's going to be bringing. I'll be asking him questions. Just come in and ask your questions if you're uncertain what it is. If you have friends in the real estate business that are not with this company, invite them to come to the first step. It's free. It's open to everybody. We want people to succeed during this time. There's plenty for all of us. There will be many agents not in this business this time next year. Okay? October 12th, scan it, sign up, do it right now. Do it on your phones. Stop procrastinating. It's October 12th, 9 to 2:30, Hilton Garden Inn across the street. You come in here, it'll be empty. We'll all be over there. Okay? Zoom, you guys got it? Y'all signed up? Yes. Thank you. All right, Shauna,
Hi.
come do the game. I appreciate you guys. I have to step out to a meeting. George will be taking over, and we have a special guest right after this too. So,
Perfect. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Price is Right.
Good morning.
So, all you have to do is get closest to the actual retail price of the homes listed or sold within the last 2 weeks. So this is going to be within the last 2 weeks in GABA. So let's see. Ready out there, Zoom? Good morning.
Do it.
Okay, first house is East Lancaster, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, built in 2007, 1,500 square foot, 8,200 square foot lot. Very nice, pretty, maintained, nicely done inside.
Very clean.
Very clean. Bring it one more picture, right? Yeah, one more. Decent backyard?
Low maintenance.
Low maintenance. Low maintenance. So last 2 weeks, what do you think it sold for? 525. Let's see, Zoom says 420.
480, 420,
330.
469,
19.
475, 565. Who else?
Alright.
525,
Not Maria.
455.
All right, are you ready? After
Yes.
the retail price is $435.
Oh.
Right on the money, $435?
We got 435 over there too.
All right,
435. We got two of them.
Anybody else?
Nice. Yes.
Well, I'll talk about this last 2 weeks. All right, the next one is West Palmdale, 6 bedrooms,
Big
4
house.
baths. Built in 2015, 3,600 square feet on a nice 12,000 square foot lot. 6 bedrooms, 4 baths.
Big house. Big family.
My mom is over there. Nice kitchen.
Ooh, nice big kitchen.
Alright. Backyard is ready for your dream pool.
Blank house.
Blank canvas. 2 weeks.
Solar.
2016. Yeah, we'll say solar too. Paid solar. Not enough solar.
All right, 698,
Sorry, what do you got?
688, 730, 639,
What you got?
750, 720, 699, 670,
Doing all the time.
620 again, and
Actual retail prices.
610.
Anybody has 6? What do you have?
595.
595, anybody? 599? About 599, anybody?
Who got 599?
599 right here.
Oh,
You got a 698?
That's too high. Gonna go anything.
can't go above.
Oh, okay.
Awesome, North Carolina.
So close, Marvin.
Ooh, even bigger house.
Now, West Palmdale, 5 bedrooms.
Attention, guys.
3,500 square feet on a 20,000 square foot lot. I want the house. I know the house.
That's a big house. Nice kitchen.
Looks all redone. Beautiful. Yep.
Whoa.
I don't actually know the price.
All right, 895, 920, 920, 820, 910, 750,
I think they looked at mine.
920, 890,
All right, ready? First sticker shock.
and the actual retail price, 920.
I think I put it first.
Oh, 920,
920, we got 3 winners. Everybody else get 920.
Awesome. I will get you guys more cards.
Yay!
Good job, guys.
Zeros.
All right, guys. As I was saying, thank you so much. We appreciate it. And don't forget, contact
On the contract. Awesome. All right, guys. I am taking over the meeting. How's everybody doing? Really? 2 people? That's all the excitement we have? How's everybody doing? Congratulations to the winners. You guys owe me a cup of coffee. You guys in the back, I know what you did.
It says save those for the reunion.
All right, guys, we actually have a special treat for you guys. We actually have a guest speaker today. She actually has been in the Antelope Valley for
Since 1983.
1983. Some of you guys weren't even born yet, right? So she is actually, you're running for office, right?
I am. Yeah. I'm your Palmdale council person.
She's actually involved with the LA County Sheriff's Department here in the city of Palmdale. So let's give her a warm welcome. She's going to talk to us about some good stuff. So come on up, Laura.
So, what inspired me to come talk to you guys is I met with Gabar recently. Part of what I do is to address issues like squatters, vacant homes, foreclosed properties, things that are criminogenic, create crime, create bad neighborhoods. When I talked to Gavar, we talked about how hard it is because California has kind of lopsided owners' rights versus tenants' rights. And right now, you can't get your tenants out.
Right.
So a lot of people are losing a lot of money. The other issues that realtors are addressing is the shortage of housing. Oh, I'm sorry, let me back up. First of all, I love the Toastmasters. Clearly your first speaker has had Toastmasters, I have not, so I don't have that kind of energy, you know, but my name is Laura Betancourt, and I've been a crime analyst, and intelligence analyst also for LA County Sheriff's Department for 25 years. I've worked with the Lancaster and Palmdale stations. I have been a city council member since 2009.
Nice.
How many of you have been to a council meeting? God bless it. So why is it important that you pay attention to what's happening in your city? Because as a city, we're trying to get more housing. Developers have a real issue coming out here. A lot of the projects are being redlined, which means that banks won't fund their projects. And then every time we try to build a big project like Ritter Ranch, what happens?
Market change out.
Lawsuits.
Lawsuits, who said lawsuits? Yes, and why is that, do you think?
Because Ritter Ranch does not want, or the community doesn't want.
Leona Valley says, I want to live here, but I don't want nobody else living here, right? So they have locked up hundreds and hundreds of homes right now from being built. The housing that was going to go in by the AV Mall, what killed it? Lawsuits. The city is constantly fighting to get housing in our community. We're being fought by homeowners associations, we're being fought by unions. We had a big project coming in. We had 200 union jobs that were guaranteed to be on those projects, these housing projects. And another union came in and said, time out, if you're gonna give that union all those jobs, we want you to give our union all those jobs. And these are private developers, and what do private developers have to do?
Spend
They make
money.
You can't have a 100% union shop building private homes because nobody would ever make any money, right? So there's all kinds of issues, and you talk about the rent. So yes, rent is cheaper, but what's the problem with renting?
You're not investing in your
You're throwing your money away, giving it to somebody else, and there is no available rentals. You get on a waiting list for a year or two. And that's why we're trying so hard as a city council, to build more housing. So I want you to know that the city of Palmdale feels your pain. We're trying our best because we want to have better jobs here in the Out Valley. And in order to have better jobs, people want to have what? Where do they want to live? Pretty much. Everyone be safe, just so you know. Because I'm one of those people that make $65,000. Sheriff doesn't pay much. So anyways, but yes, I own my own home. If you're gonna have big executive jobs here, you have to have executive housing. So we try to blend the jobs that we're trying to create with the aerospace companies, with some other companies that we're trying to recruit to come here. And when they come to decide whether they're gonna bring their big corporations here, what do? They drive around the area.
Right.
They look at the housing, they look at the shopping, they look at the quality of the neighborhoods. And that's why, for me, especially on the east side, I've done a big push to try and improve the landscaping. We have a graffiti task force trying to keep graffiti down, keep illegal dumping down. Because all of that affects you guys. You guys bring a prospective client out, and you're driving down, and there's a dirt lot, and what do you see? Big pile of crap, right?
Yep.
Somebody's big, dumped a bunch of stuff. Our goal as a city is to try to address that. We are constantly arresting people for doing things like that. Problem is, we can't get them prosecuted.
Laura, can I ask a question?
Yes.
How can agents report properties that look like crap?
You can actually go to the city website and message. You can call me. I passed out my cards. I have more cards. You can call our city code enforcement or our neighborhood services. Pretty much, if you just call the main number at City Hall and report it, we will document it and we will try to get it cleaned up. We have 2 graffiti trucks now, and they were like $250,000 because the new graffiti trucks, I think you guys are gonna love this to keep our city looking better. It has a big boom on it, so it can get the high, because the graffiti artists have learned to go high, because we can't read shit sometimes. But now we have the big truck with the moon on it. But it also has like a laser where it'll take a picture of this color, and it'll exact color match whatever the wall is, and they will paint it over it, and it will look like,
I've actually called, who knows where Tamarisk Elementary is? Over on the east side, right off of 20th. Street across, the wall across the
I
street
know
was,
exactly what you're talking about.
and I actually called, and they took care of it the next day. It
Yeah.
was immediately.
Please call, because, you know, we can't be everywhere. I'm the lunatic that you see. I drive a big black truck. It's a 20-year-old truck. Driving through the district, I jump out of my truck and I take pictures of all the graffiti. And then I send it to the city. I will leave you guys my cell phone number. If you see graffiti, send me a picture and tell me where it's at, and I'll make sure it gets handled. Because we can't be everywhere. The city of Palmdale is 164, was it 164? It's 164 square miles and 174,000 population, so he did have his population wrong, but that's okay.
What else can you report besides graffiti? Like
Anything you want to report.
couches, like-
You report anything. You send me the information, I don't care what it is, we'll take it. We also have a claw, you know, like the toy claw.
Right.
So if it's close enough to the curb, we'll pull up with our claw, couch, mattresses, whatever, and they will take it away. The city will handle that. We tried to get Waste Management to do it. Anybody in here work for Waste Management? No. And they didn't. So we went ahead and bought our own claw so we can lift all this stuff. Yes, ma'am.
What if we have a project around where my kids go to school? It's on the east side. They dump a lot. What if we have a project where parents will actually help out to put it on the side? Will they pick that up?
Yes. Get it to the side.
Okay.
And then call. Okay? Do that, absolutely. Yeah. And we're trying to get the Waste Management to give extra fee, the free vouchers for people that want to do projects. We do the big desert cleanups, you know, where they bring out the big containers, and we fill them up, hundreds and hundreds of tons of stuff, and literally 2 months later, it's back. And that's a whole other, so I could go on for days on that. But the Sheriff's Department is working in conjunction with the city to address both the graffiti and the illegal dumping. But what I want you guys to know is a really good way to sell people on homes is to tell them what's happening in the neighborhood
Right.
of that home. First of all, I brought some stats for you, and you can Google these. In 2020, Palmdale was named among some of California's safest cities. Some people go, what? But I hear gunshots all the time, screeching tires. Compared to other places, we're a peach. So in 2020, Palmdale was named in the top 10% of the safest cities in California by Safety.com. We were number 33 in the state. In 2021, we were number 24. So the Sheriff's Department, working in conjunction with the Public Safety Department, with the City of Palmdale, together with our neighborhood watches, are really keeping crime down. This year, we've had a spike, not gonna lie. So this year, our numbers aren't gonna be as good, but next year, hopefully, things will calm down. Right now, everybody's, you know, out after COVID. They've all lost their minds. You know, some of them created some pretty serious addiction problems during the lockdown that we're dealing with. Because a lot of people had nothing else to do, right? So they self-medicate. And a lot of people lost their jobs, so what are they gonna do? They gotta get money somehow. So hopefully next year will be better. Other things I wanted to bring up with you is that the city of Palmdale, at least I, am very dedicated to addressing the point of sale mandates, which are killing sales, right? I don't know if you guys are experiencing it, but other realtors are. These are things like, oh yeah, you know, you can sell your house, but you gotta put solar on first, right? If I'm still in my house, I'm selling it because I want to get it out. If I wanted to fix it up, I'd stay. You should be able to do it as is home, right? State of California is fighting on that. Again, like I said, California is also very, very tenant-based as opposed to owner-based. So if you own a home, good luck with your renters. If they're bad renters, it's going to take you a long, long time to get them out. Other things that the state of California is doing to make your jobs harder is all of the environmental impacts that they're addressing gets passed on to the builders and developers, and then houses are unbelievably expensive, right? Just so you guys know, I'm 60, so I'm a baby boomer. My first house that I had in the 80s was well over 8%. So when I see these 3%, 5%, 7%, I'm like, oh, that would be nice. My house is paid off, you know, I paid it for over 30 years. Yeah, interest rates, he's right, people don't care, they want to get that home, right? And compared to what they used to be, the 18% back in the 80s, this is a walk in the park,
Yes, it is.
right? You guys are just too young to know. So I lived in the time of Reagan, and so things were different then. So what I want to do is to show you, I'll let you guys be the webmaster. Can you log into, this is public information, free to everyone. If you have a house, who's got a house that they want to sell right now? Somebody better raise your hand. Okay, so go to www. Just won't let him do it. Crimemapping.com.
I use that all the time.
Do you?
I use that all
Best
the time.
thing in the world,
They
right?
ask me if it's a good neighborhood or a bad neighborhood.
Yes.
I'm like, I can't say, but go here.
That's right. See, I legally can't say either when they call
You can't.
sheriff's department. I'm saying, well, you know, we download our data. So I'll tell you how this works.
They have
So
an app too.
whoever's selling a house, let's get the address in here. We'll take a look. Anybody?
Or you can put mine.
Okay.
41227, 47th Street West.
Good area.
We're about to find out.
Okay,
What's
so
this got?
there's very low crime, right?
Second Street is
Yeah. So go ahead and click on one of the dots,
Should be a lot on 52nd.
and it will tell you what kind of crime it was. They had a motor vehicle theft in that neighborhood, and it'll give you the date and the time that it occurred.
So how far back will it go?
So you can actually do a date range. It's a 2-week delay. The sheriff's department downloads this data to crimemapping.com every week, but we have to clean it. The crimes that will not show up are sex crimes and crimes against children, okay? So you can put my address in for fun.
Johnny, pretty good.
Let's do the sheriff's department address. We'll see that neighborhood. Type it.
And so you would think that would go away from that area.
You would think, right? That's why they put them where they do, but it doesn't work, because everybody, crooks know that what are cops doing? They're either coming in to go home, or they're going out and they're already responding to a call, so the area around it kind of gets neglected. 750
Okay, my part.
East Avenue Q. Yes. Okay, well, I thought it would be worse than that, so that's not bad, right? But over here, see where it says, you can select where, what, when, like if you want to just look at all the auto thefts in your city or your neighborhood. You can do all kinds of different things. These are all the crimes that you can, this one's never really going to show up, but.
You can scroll out and
Right?
scroll in.
Yeah,
and see.
it's.
Just like the MLS.
Huh?
Just like the MLS.
It's wonderful. I've never seen it all.
And so how long did you say they stay on there for?
Oh my gosh, I think this data goes back at least 5 years.
You can adjust,
Yeah.
the time, or the,
Yeah.
yeah, you can adjust the dates on it if you want to see like 3 months ago, you can do
Yeah.
that.
And Lancaster Sheriff also uploads their information in here?
Yes. There you go. Yeah, that looks more realistic.
Can we put a liquor store on there?
Okay, so if you click on each one, it'll tell you what kind of crime run. So that's a great opportunity for you guys to look at the neighborhood, look at the house, and what's happening. The other things that you can do that you don't know that you can do is, let's say, you take your client out, right? You're walking through the house, and the neighbor comes up and goes, "Oh, you don't want to buy this. Look, oh, blah blah blah. That you know who used to live in that house? And they blah blah blah. Drug dealers, this and that, and the other thing." You can actually get a calls for service for that house. Every call that was made, where we responded to that location, is documented. So you can call the sheriff's department and say, "I'd like to," you have to fill out a form, "I'd like to get the information on this house for the last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years." Right? Sometimes they charge a fee, a small fee, sometimes they don't, depends on who's working the desk that day. But you can find out all the activity at that location. And it's nice to know, oh dang, it really was a drug house. Because why does that matter to you guys?
You still might have customers.
You still might have customers. got me a dime. Right? Exactly right.
This is a perfect house.
What about that in the backyard? How does that affect you guys?
There's evidence that you can actually change the delegation on the price of the property based on.
Who has to do the hazmat cleanup? Because they're using pesticides on that grow,
Right.
inside the house. Right? These are the kind of things that you can, the information you can get if you call for service on the house. That's what we have tons of information that you guys don't even know exists. If you want to look at sheriff's data, you can go to www.lasd.org. I think it's org. LASD, There you go. And of course, Sheriff's Department doesn't make it easy. And if you'll scroll down to the transparency promise, why it's under that, I don't know. But we actually want to go back one, just so you guys can see the types of data. All this stuff is public information, folks. The Sheriff's, Villanueva, he puts literally everything online. Everything is there, except sex crimes and children's crimes. So go to transparency promise. And then scroll down. And then under statistical and reporting information. This is where you can get all kinds of information. You want to know how many people are arrested in the neighborhood? Click the crime and arrest information. There's tons and tons and tons of information. 2020, 2019, 2018, and then even older. There's tons of information. It's all free. It's all there for you. So if you really want to investigate a neighborhood, or maybe you guys want to buy a house and be somewhere safe, you can go and you can find what's going on. And it's all free. So I just wanted to, this is my way of thanking you for letting me come here and tell you that yes, I'm running for re-election for my district. I wasn't going to run, and then I decided to run. I have stage 4 cancer.
Oh, wow.
And so I wasn't going to run. But City of Hope has made me very well. I'm walking and talking like a real girl.
Congrats.
I had a cancer, ate my spine, so I see and keep moving forward with the plans that we have for Palmdale. But what's really important also for you guys is, have you heard of a general plan? Okay. City of Palmdale has just completed our plan for 2045. This is how far in advance the city plans their zoning, their housing, their business districts, and that type of thing. So some of the zoning has changed from single family to mixed use. Some has gone from high density to low density and vice versa. It's changed. So we heard a lot from developers like, but I bought this property back in 1920 and I wanted to build a conference center. Yeah, but you didn't. And now it's multi-family housing zone, right? So it matters, and it matters to you guys what's coming. So if you have a chance, go to the city website, click on general plan, and you can see some of the changes in some of the zoning. I don't know if many of you sell raw property, but the zoning may have changed, so make sure that you look. Yes.
Has the zoning map been updated on the website?
It should have been, yes.
What is the website again?
It's the City of Palmdale website, and go under updated general plan, and the zoning maps should be on there. If they're not, I'll find out why.
Laura, what about marijuana grows? If anybody encounters one, is it the same information that you
Yeah,
provide?
you can contact City. For the marijuana grows, I get every weed tip, which is Crime Stoppers, right? You can go to weed tip or Crime Stoppers. You want to type in Crime Stoppers and show them this? It is truly anonymous. They come to my desk. Every time a house is reported, we investigate the house. We get lots of calls for the Little Rock area. Acton is now getting very busy. I don't know if you're selling houses in Acton, but a lot of the grows are actually indoors because the houses are very big out there.
Right.
There's one right behind us right here.
Okay, right here?
Right here.
Right here?
I'm pretty sure right here.
Oh,
A duplex.
okay, all right. So yes, and we take it very
Okay,
seriously.
address.
At the Palmdale Sheriff Station is our marijuana eradication team. And so every time I get a weed tip that comes in, I do a full workup on the property or the house or the apartment. And then I walk it across the hall to the marijuana eradication team. Sheriff Villanueva is very, very serious about getting rid of the marijuana. So you guys have a different web splash page than I do because I'm on the other side. Oh, where it says submit a tip anonymously right there. That's how you guys can submit it, and it comes directly to my desk, and to a bunch of other people too, but I do the workups on them, that's part of my job right now. So, I hope that I've given you some ideas on ways to maybe sell your neighborhoods, let them know how safe our city really is. If you have a problem house, maybe you can let us know, because if you have one problem house, 5 doors down from the one you're trying to sell, that hurts. That hurts.
100%.
Hurts the value of that home. The better and cleaner we can keep our cities, the better off our housing market is. I'm a homeowner. I want to make sure that my value is always up. And you wouldn't want to live in my neighborhood because I am that neighborhood watch. And that's another thing too. Good selling point. Find out where the neighborhood watches are. Call the city and ask for Carrie German and say, give me whatever address you're trying to sell. 123 Main Street. I live at 123 Main Street. Can you tell me where the closest neighborhood watch is? Because when you want to sell a home, like, this is a safe neighborhood, we have neighborhood watch, the community comes together to keep each other safe and look out for each other. That's a great selling point for you guys. So, and for us, if you don't have a neighborhood watch, start one. Encourage all of your homeowners to start a neighborhood watch if there isn't one, because that helps keep crime down. So I think I've probably taken up all my time. I'm going to leave these flyers for you guys. These are my, what they call a walk piece.
Yes.
I'm open for questions if you guys have any.
Questions online.
Did I
Dude,
give
we
you
have
anything
questions.
that was useful?
Yes,
Okay, all
Felipe,
right.
all right, Felipe, your question is what?
Yes, as a crime analyst, do you guys look into the closing times of liquor stores near the area, or is that something that is set up by the city?
Oh, yes, they have, everybody who has a liquor license has to have an ABC license from the state. They also have to have a conditional use permit from the city of Palmdale. And their times of when they can be open are regulated very, very closely. So if you know someone who's staying open after hours, we need to know.
Got it. Just because I did notice a lot of crime in the nearby liquor stores, it seems like there's a lot of activity going on at night. So that's something of concern when looking at
Absolutely.
people ask.
And I'm telling you right now, you guys, if you have problem locations, tell me. I mean, I map it out, I have a big map, and I try to send patrol cars and detectives to the areas that have the most activity. And if you see it, report it, because if you don't report it, it didn't happen, and I can't put the dot on the map. But those liquor stores, I consider them criminogenic. I would like to see them close much earlier. The state law says that if they provide a needed service, like they sell bread or milk, that we have to allow them to, all these crazy state rules, I wasn't kidding, that we have to allow them to stay open a certain amount of time. So if there's a problem, always call me. You guys have my business cards. Email me, call me, let me know. And because you are the best resource that we have for the law enforcement, you guys know more about what's going on in your neighborhoods probably than we do, so please let us know so we can address the issues.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Oh, can I ask a question about the mayor?
Sure.
So I heard that they're going to be doing the rotating mayor
Right.
now. So how long will each council member be taking that position?
1 year is the starting point, but like one person can actually be mayor 5 times in a row because it's at the will of council, whoever is, the council decides who's going to be mayor. The California Voter Rights Act is pretty clear on how we have to do districting and mayoring. City of Santa Cruz Valley has been rotational for years, so they didn't end up in a lawsuit. So now we're doing rotational so we can eliminate some of the lawsuits. Newport Beach, most cities are going to rotational mayor. And here's the benefit to you guys as residents. We now have 5 districts in Palmdale. We had to put the districts in based on demographics, right? And what they consider financial, racial, education. There's all these, it's a mathematical formula. So we went from 4 districts to 5, and now each district will actually get full force attention from the mayor. A lot of times mayors get in and they're kind of monofocused into their neighborhoods and into their areas, and a lot of the other districts don't get the same love. So now every single district gets a year of focused attention on that district,
Nice.
along with the rest of the city. So it's a huge benefit to our residents. Right now, as it stands, like a mayor is the only one that can put something on the agenda. He's the one that will take things off. That's the single power that he has, basically. So if I wanted to bring something forward, like I want to put a new park in my district, he could redline it and take it off the agenda. And so now, that can't happen because eventually, every district will have a mayor and they can put their projects and their goals and their ambitions for that district onto the agenda.
That's awesome.
So it's really a huge benefit to the residents, yeah.
Awesome.
Who else had a question?
Kishan?
Yeah, you were mentioning starting a neighborhood watch, which I think is a fantastic idea. What's the process for that? Is it an official process or just?
The easiest way is to, I think you can do it online, but the fastest way is to call the city's main phone number and ask for Carrie German, K-E-R-Y, last name German, typical spelling. She is in charge of our neighborhood watches. Some of you may already know Abner Diaz, he's her counterpart, and he's the one that comes out and does the neighborhood watches with her. Oftentimes you'll see me at the neighborhood watches because I'll pull all the stats for that neighborhood and go, here's what's happening in the neighborhood, and here's the cars that you need to watch for, and this is what happened, and kind of give them an idea of what's really happening in the neighborhood. Because some people are at work all day long, no idea what's happening in that neighborhood during the daytime. Yeah, so, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's give
thank
Laura
you,
a round of
everybody.
applause.
These up here for you guys to take for my re-election. Please feel free to take some and pass them out to your friends.
So what was one of the biggest ahas that you guys took over her information? Somebody want to share?
No, Palmdale is not that bad.
No,
Right.
it's not. It's really not.
Right.
It's really very, very good city.
My biggest aha personally is how do we make the city better? It starts with us.
Exactly.
Right? So it starts with you guys. You know, especially in the business that we're in, we definitely want to utilize the resources that are already available for us. Just like our resources as realtors when we're working our business, there's resources available that you guys can utilize to benefit your clients. Now, who does door knocking? Okay, what is the purpose of door knocking? It's to bring what? Value, right? Would you agree that this might be something that you guys can share with the neighborhoods that you guys are farming as far as value items?
Absolutely.
Right? If you go into a neighborhood that you guys are farming and you see a house that's looking like crap, there's a whole ton of trash in the front, cars parked in the yard, let the neighbors know, hey, there's a solution to this.
Here's my card.
Right? So there's a ton of resources that she just mentioned that you guys can utilize when you guys are farming your area, when you guys are door knocking. Because the last thing you want to go is be like, hi, I'm George. I was just knocking to see if you want to sell your house. How many people would literally not open the door for that reason? But if you're coming with something of value, it makes it more easier. What does that do to the person that's in front of you? Their defense mode goes down, right? Because now you're not just there to try and get their information to see if they want to sell or potentially even buy. You're bringing something that could be of resource to better the neighborhood that they're in, right? And every neighborhood has that house, right? Every single, I don't care if it's a brand new neighborhood or if it's an old neighborhood on the east side, there's always going to be an eyesore in the neighborhood, right? So it is our job as realtors when we're door knocking and we're observing to find out how we can help that neighborhood, especially if it's your farm. How many of you guys are farming? If you're not, you should, right? How many of you guys know what a farm is?
Just focus on one.
You're focusing on a certain area, right? If you don't know what farming is for my new agents, go talk to Frank Donato. Okay, let him know, Frank, George talked about farming, and I'm not talking about vegetables, all right? Don't get it twisted. We're talking about neighborhood. You becoming the expert of that neighborhood and being in front of that neighborhood on a monthly basis, right? Building relationships with the people that live in it, right? Why? You want to go be the go-to person when things arise. And when the neighbor has a whole bunch of crap in the front yard, who are they going to think of? You. Hey, you know what? Let me call Ramses to see how I can fix this, right? So having these resources available is going to be very key moving forward, right? All you gotta do is use them, guys.
And for your own safety, you might want to use crimemapping.com before you go out and door knock. Because there are some houses you may not want to door knock.
True.
Keep yourself safe.
Absolutely. All right, guys, don't forget. Go ahead.
Thank you. I have to go.
Absolutely. Okay, Lord, thank you for being
everybody.
here.
Thank you.
Don't forget, guys. register for both, at least the first session. Not everybody. Guys, it's free. The first session is free. Everybody in this room should have their hand up. Right? Trust me, you guys do not want to miss the first session of both. It is an amazing program. I cannot emphasize. I've taken it twice. How many of you guys know who Anusha is? Anusha, I believe, has taken it 15 times. Wow. That's why she is where she is at. Right? It's all about investing in you, in yourself. Not only that, it's a write-off. It's a business expense. Right?
It'll pay itself.
It pays by itself. If you guys think that Ignite has been an amazing program, just wait till you try both. Right? Guys, thank you so much for being here today. Make it a great rest of the week. We will see you next week.
Thank you.